All right, this is a pretty stacked deck list. I think it says a lot about the current state of Standard and kind of Magic in general that I've seen this deck that we're about to play. I've seen this deck described as Bant mid-range and Bant control. And there's very clearly 10 ramp spells in this deck, chat. So I feel like plus Nissa's technically a ramp spell at our top end too for really going over the top with Hydroid Krasis. So I feel like it really illustrates how far we've come from mid-range being playable, that people could entertain a deck with 10 ramp spells, maybe even 14 if you count Nissa being a mid-range or a control deck. Regardless of the semantics on that, this deck's just a pretty reasonable collection of good Magic the Gathering cards. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. Waldalazi, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oaklandia. Thanks for keeping me around this month with that. Thanks for the 14 months, Party Bus. Welcome back. I'll be interested to see what our viewer numbers look like today. Channel Fireball's doing their tournament thing today, so I'm not sure what that's gonna look like as opposed to my normal metrics. We had decent numbers last weekend, but we weren't streaming against that. I think I keep this. It has all my colors. It's got a ramp spell. It's got Teferi to impact the board. Hey, Schwingy, thank you for the 23 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Bottom a 7th land tier for now. I think I'd actually rather Teferi bounce this, so they can't double ramp next turn. If we were on the draw, this game would be wildly different. Maybe. The fact that they're missing their 3rd land definitely helps for us a little bit. It's unfortunate that Conqueror's Death can't exile Lucky Clover.
Let's try this.
Yeah, downtime during tournaments is definitely rough. That's why I decided to not play in their qualifying events. It just makes for slow content. Not to mention the general volume of my deck queue. Eventually we'll draw a spell. Something like that. Hey, thanks for the half a year, Zhang. Welcome back. Good to have you around. And just like that, we're off to the races in our ramp mirror here. From 2 mana to 9 mana. Feels standard, man. Feels standard. This was the other. I probably would have made time to play in one of the qualifiers if there was like one deck I really loved in standard right now. But I'm really just not in love with anything in this format. Like, yeah. Just so much ramp. All right. Only 3 cards in the bin. Without Cavalier of Thorns, Uro's going to be a little bit difficult to fill the bin up for. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a reason why we're doing 5 standard decks per week, and we're doing, like, 12, 15 historic decks. It was ghosted. Enjoy your sword and shield.
Let us talk of peace.
Oh, by the way, I'm speaking of tournaments, because things that would involve less downtime. If you're someone who's a sub who's not already in the subscriber Discord, you should join up. Because something I'm in the process of coordinating with the MTG Melee folks is we're gonna be doing a Hoaglandia historic tournament at some point in the not too distant future. And the requirement to play in that will be that you are a subscriber to the stream and that you have a computer. This is an asterisk that you're gonna need to make sure your computer needs to be capable of broadcasting your arena matches via Discord. So rather than make people stream to Twitch and go through setting up OBS to do coverage, people can stream if they want to stream if they're a sub. But I'm going to pick a feature match or two each round and ask people or require that people live stream their match via the Discord sharing, because on Discord you can just click go live and share just your arena window. So we should be able to do coverage that way without making people stream it. Is my goal. So I'll have more formal details once I work out with MTG Melee how exactly I finagle working with their site. Is that lower on demand? Yeah, it should technically be less system intensive than fully streaming to Twitch. I don't think I want to throw these away attacking. I think the go live function technically can transmit your voice as well, but you can mute that. I won't be using. In fact, I'll explicitly ask that you don't use the microphone. I'll just want your game sounds. Thanks for the 6 months, Argent Beacon. I appreciate the half a year. Welcome back. Majority of players are going to bring Arcfield. I don't know about that. We'll see. Does this card use your GPU or CPU to... I have no idea. Hello, tiny child.
Mommy can't play a game with me.
Mommy can't play a game with you. Why not?
Because it's chores today.
Oh, she gets to have the Switch today? No. You have to share with your mom, Declan. No, you just can't hog the Switch all day. She wants to play Animal Crossing.
Well, her's not playing that and you has chores today.
Oh, she has to do chores? Yeah. Are we dead? It feels like we're dead. I feel like decks like what we're playing kind of just get dumpstered by the opponent's archetype. Like, their deck just goes so far over the top of like what our deck is able to put together. I guess I'm gonna attack with everything here, because if they block, I get to Uro. He's a liar. Yes, Shadow Spear makes it incredibly difficult to aggro them out. Yeah, Field of the Dead would be a natural predator to my opponent's archetype. If it was legal. That was not the Elspeth Conquers death we wanted for Christmas. Remember to teach him that snitches get stitches. I don't know about that one. Not even ulting Nissa will save us against a 12-12 with a Shadow Spear. Probably not. I was one click away from buying a second Switch for my household when Animal Crossing was released. My wife held onto the Switch like kids hold onto TV remote. You actually can't buy second Switches right now. They're just out everywhere. You can buy Switch Lites, but actual factual Switches that like hook into the TV don't really exist currently. All right, so Night of Autumn seems great here. Agent of Treachery seems fine. You can't find webcams for work? That's wild. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Should I find my like 6 extra webcams I have in my house and list them on eBay? Is that what you're saying? What do we want to cut here? Embrace the capitalism. Whirlwind Denial does work against Lucky Clover, doesn't it? Yeah, I guess that's true. Conqueror's Death actually seems bad here. Hey, one more cut. I'm not going to board in the Planar Cleansing. There's webcams all over Amazon. Yeah, that one would kind of surprise me. I think I'm supposed to bottom this. I just need to hit land drops. Rewarded. We don't need webcams at my school because a lot of our seasoned faculties are convinced that mailing work back and forth with students is a legitimate option. Didn't look at ship dates or the pricing. Okay. Actually, it's funny. So I watch a number of like the daily news shows on like YouTube after they air. And, like, they've all been recording at their various homes. And, like, the fact that, like, you know, like, Seth Meyers and Stephen Colbert have, like, worse production quality right now than, like, the average person who streams casually on Twitch is, like, kind of wild. Because just, like, you know, they didn't have home video equipment when all this started. I think Colbert's literally been, like, recording using his cell phone. That's probably what Myers was doing, too. Trevor Noah on The Daily Show actually has a pretty reasonable webcam and mic setup. His quality's been very reasonable on what he's been doing. Colbert's using an iPad, sure. That's like the same thing as a cell phone, right? I think I'm just gonna play this and, like, get a land back. Oh, Noah's streamed before from home. That would make sense. Yeah, his quality is very reasonable. Yeah, you have more of a home studio than late night host. I mean, like, they don't, in a practical, like, under normal circumstances, they don't have a need for that, right? Strange times, chat. Strange times. I think I'm just supposed to play Nissa this turn. Happy Saturday, D20. Thanks for the biddies. Strange and magnificent world. It's just one step towards network TV dying, right? I wonder, you know, when all this is over in a year or so and we go back to normal, like post-vaccine thereabouts, if more large companies will start getting rid of some of their office space when they realize that, like, it's largely unnecessary. Like, all these companies that are, like, successfully having all their employees work from home, are they going to continue paying for office space if they can, like, functionally operate their business with everybody just working from home? I think, like, not only, like, people washing their hands will be a cultural functional difference, I think we might see some cultural changes surrounding how people work just from this, when, like, businesses realize, oh, we don't need office space to get this job done. My company is going from working from home full time even after the sentence. Yeah, I bet that's the norm. Does 3-mana Teferi turn off Clover? It does not. Yeah, I think so, Farron. I think there's inherently been a worry that workers are lazy and will slack off. And when they see that their productivity is as good or better, LOL, thinking that profits made will be used to pay workers more. You must be new to this whole capitalism thing. Middle managers are going to need to justify why they exist post-pandemic. Yeah, most likely. Yeah, I agree, Clipsy. The government probably needs to step in and manage who's allowed to declare themselves essential more. Digitech Wire, thanks for the year and a half of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's play a 6/6 and draw some cards. David Lynch, welcome back. Hobby Lobby apparently declared itself essential. As if you needed less reason to ever go to their stores. P. Cardon, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yes, they were already scum. Just for reference, they were already scum, for people not familiar with Hobby Lobby. Actually, I'm going to lead on Teferi here, so this way they can't Brazen Borrower my Uro this turn. Yeah, a lot of places outside of the US have closed down things that actually aren't essential. The United States, from my understanding, is rather unique in like it's like a lot of places have closed down restaurants, from my understanding, even. I think I'm just plussing this and passing, with the plan being I'm going to bounce my Hydroid Krasis next turn and redraw with it. Sweden hasn't closed anything other than high schools and universities. Yep. Yeah, the fact that Florida alone stayed open for spring break fully is gonna do a lot of damage nationwide, most likely. Rian, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Yeah, that's fine. Coffee Beer H2O, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Okay, so ambush, we can Aether Gust down the line at least. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10. So I could Krasis for 8 here, but if I Krasis for 8, I don't get to hold up Aether Gust this turn, which I think is important.
I've got time.
Let's start with this and see where we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm not going to agent this turn because, again, I think I want to Aether Gust the Stomry's ambush this go round. Tamiyo on top is great because she will let me fill my graveyard back up for Uro. I mean, the data used for that J Miller is technically anonymized, right? So like when places buy data like that, they don't know whose data it is. Came for the rant, stayed to help feed your kids. You're the best in the biz. Thanks for keeping me around, Jojo. I appreciate the 1.5 years. The way in which we anonymize data isn't sufficient. Why is that, J. Miller? Is it possible the way it's anonymized to get actual sensitive information from it? Is it not being anonymized appropriately? So... it's actually easy to link back the data. Sure. I don't know. I just kind of accept the fact that anywhere I carry my cell phone, you should probably just assume that any words you say in the same room of any major cell phone device are being recorded. It's a healthy level of paranoia and reality, I think. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana total here. I'm going to go ahead and pick this Krasis up.
No more games. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Ooh. Found a piece of candy. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you're not right. Ain't that the truth? Moonray was talking about Wingstop the other day, then I started getting ads for Wingstop and I haven't eaten there in years. Yes. Yes, your that is largely what they do with your information. And honestly, to be a typical millennial for a moment, like, if I'm giving up my privacy for, like, relevant adverts, I'm kind of okay with that, right? Like, in my opinion, the experience that targeted adverts provide compared to, I think I actually want this Planar Cleansing here. The experience targeted adverts provide as opposed to just like random adverts like from TV back in the day, I think it's so much better. If I speak Spanish around my phone, I start getting ads in Spanish. That's okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Elephanta, my girlfriend and I were talking about her little brother playing Beyblades, and my YouTube feed was recommending me videos about Beyblades. That's one I haven't had before. Your YouTube recommendations can change based on what you're talking about. We're gonna get banned for Beyblades at Wingstop. I view the internet while using ad blocker for the most part too. When I do see ads, I don't mind them being context driven, but usually if I use a service enough, I just like, if there's a content creator I watch a lot, I just subscribe to their Patreon for at least $1 a month. Because if you give a creator even $1 per month on Patreon, that's more money than they would get for you watching every ad on their channel in a given month. So like, yeah. If you want to ad block and not feel bad about it. That sucks, Bandit. Hello, oldest son. Speaking of hugs, I need a hug. I need a hug. Ah. How's your Saturday going, Jacob?
Good.
Good.
To where? It's alright. It's alright. To right. Where? Right. Where? Right. Where? Right.
Left and right.
Where? Right.
Left and right.
Where? Right.
Okay. I love you. Maybe I should have Krasis for one last turn and then plan to just time wipe this turn. I love you. Hello.
I can't buy my Arboreal Grazer. I told Mommy bank me. I would okay. I'm gonna do it wrong.
You do what you want?
Yeah, Mommy told me all day long.
I think just passing here, like taking a hit for 4 and then planning to Planar Cleanse, tell mommy you were watching Disney. Is what you were watching in the trailer.
No, I can't find my remote.
Oh, you can't find the remote? I don't, it's not, there's no second planes in this deck. Hold on just a minute, Jacob. There's no second planes. Okay, well, I guess we're just getting a forest and casting Hydroid Krasis then. That's super unfortunate. I guess there's only one triple white card and it's in the board, but feels bad, man. All right, so they have a great henge. I think with these two, I'm probably just supposed to Planar Cleanse here. Is likely the plan. They're down to 1 card, so pretty likely to run away with it from here. I guess I could have agented the Great Henge too. I don't have that many more creatures though. Yeah, we're like hoping to draw a threat before they draw an Escape the Wilds, basically. Hey, that's a threat. We're still 1 card short. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get punished for not holding up Whirlwind Denial here. Maybe I should have waited on the second Uro. I could have countered this escape if I would have held up Whirlwind Denial. That's super unfortunate for me. Yeah. And maybe should have Agent of Treachery. The Great Henge could have held up Whirlwind Denial this turn. I don't know. They have to play all these cards out, right? So like they play them out, and then I get to Shatter the Sky, and it's like not a big deal. I guess they don't have to play them out because they can just play the adventure half of them. Hey, Althorion, thanks for the quarter of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like 2 at most, TD. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Hopefully we can Whirlwind to actually counter something this turn. Graph Digger's Cage. Glad we have another night. We also have Time Wipe to just, like, pick up the one that's in play too, which is great. Yeah, I think it was good, Gazi. I don't know, we'll see. It was only for 1 week, but it was kind of nice having like day off. Having it be like day off, work a couple days, another day off, as opposed to having 2 days off in a row. All right, so we'll Time Wipe. Tier 3 subs can be combined with a $20 donation to put a Moto deck in the queue, but just on their own now, Tier 3s are going to be restricted to just Arena. So tier 3 subs are basically worth, yeah. And I understand if that causes some people to downgrade, but sounds good, CC. It's definitely one I'm willing to run back. I think we just sweep these, right? I can go sweep into Uro, into hold up Whirlwind Denial. It should be on the Stream Deck or D20. We played it to start today. Keep a smattering of creatures in here that we can get back with Conqueror's Death. I think I just Aether Gust this rather than letting them cantrip a bunch of things here. Never feel bad about getting timed out here. We don't time people out because we're mad. We're timed out because we know they could do better. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take this Beanstalk and then smack them for 6 and draw a card. Beanstalk not quite as big on our side of the board, but still a pretty hefty threat. That's a fantastic draw. I feel like Fae of Wishes is fine. I feel like Fae of Wishes, having access to your sideboard cards game one, does come at a pretty real cost. Like, it's not free to just have your sideboard be a bunch of cards for Fae of Wishes. Like, you're giving up very real percentage points by doing that. It's definitely a powerful effect. But it's not just like cost free. So we're looking for a Hydroid Krasis here to pair with this Nissa. Cause I'm dream trawling. Do do do. Do do do. We're just hanging out for a turn. Because their giant's bigger than our giant. They get to pick Fae of Wishes back up here, and we'll see what they get. Oh! I could have Whirlwind Denialed that. Yeah, they only had 2 mana up, right? Yeah, we totes should have Whirlwind Denialed that. I mean, there's a reason why we're playing 1 standard deck today and 2 historic decks. How long am I going to do Slay the Spire for today? At least an hour. Maybe more. We'll see how the kids are behaving. They only have 3 up here, right? I have never played Slay the Spire before, period. It's a single-player roguelite deck-building game, from my understanding. That should be pretty close to lethal, huh? Are they dead? I can Teferi bounce this. No, they have 2 blockers still. They'd go block, take 6, 9, 12, 14. Oh, I can bounce Agent and take Giant. Yeah, that's a good line. Fair and reasonable.
This isn't a fight.
Well, this deck doesn't seem like the fastest way to play games of Magic, but it definitely seems powerful. Teferi was lethal, isn't he always? He's lethal in our hearts. Sure. You always have lethal if you have Teferi at hand. Ain't that the truth? He's lethal to interactive Magic. Yikes. Alright, well, need 1 more land. Can we get some kind of Hoogle Bangerang emote? I don't know what that is. What are we plussing? What are we plussing Tamiyo for here? Like I have my 4-ofs in hand already. I mean, if we hit Uro, I'd rather he go in the bin, right? And then Conquer's Death. Okay.
The past is never forgotten. We will not fail.
Hey, Bedell, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, but there's a lot of sets between now and then, TDM, so who knows? Cards that don't impact the board, deal. Deal, Dorito. magic, man. Feels magic, man. Nice mid-range deck. Tamiyo's deck doesn't even let them take a card. Oh, Tamiyo. So I think we board out Grazer against a mid-range interactive deck. I think we trim the sweepers here, bring in Aether Gust for their Uros. Rest of this seems reasonable. Ceratops, this attacks through Uro, I could run them down. I don't think this is an Narset matchup. Maybe it's an Narset matchup just because it could be a Narset matchup because they have Uro of their own. That's probably reasonable. I'll just board in one Ceratops. All right. That's actually really good against us, isn't it? Turns off Conquer's Death last chapter and makes Uro bad. Turns off Tamiyo down tick as well. Yeah, that's a good observation. Yeah, Conquer's Death gets rid of it. This Agent of Treachery borrows it, which is kind of funny. Baby Krasis do. It's a 2. Swing and a miss. Feels like it bodes well for us.
To the library.
Well, that's unfortunate. Feel like they have a counterspell here. Nope. Rawr. Yeah, Leyline is one-sided. Rest in peace is the symmetrical one. Wub, wub, wub. Wub, wub, wub. Wub, wub, wub. The glowing red no. It gives me life, chat.
You could use some manners.
You could use some manners. That's not a Conquer's Death.
Seek and find.
Goodbye, Leyline. My friend. All right, it's a little bit of a quicker game, huh? Not bad, not bad, not bad. As someone who's only loosely paid attention, is the Channel Fireball Magic Fest online thing this weekend, is it 2 days or is it just today? Is it fully like a Grand Prix, like Saturday with a Sunday cut? I didn't really follow any of their full details on it. I'm gonna mulligan this without a blue source. This is much better. I think it's 2 days. I think I remember seeing that, but I don't remember for sure. It's day 1, cut to day 2. Okay. On that. Zerim, thank you for the 26 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I will say this. The funniest thing of all time, not of all time, but just amusing, is defenders of Magic Online for years often said Magic Online couldn't offer real dollar prizes for tournaments that they do because of gambling laws. And then just like, as soon as there's, you know, a thing that stops us from holding paper tournaments, Channel Fireball just like snaps off, okay, we're having cash tournaments from their home. Like, we used to, I used to play a smaller card game called Hex TCG, and they had weekly cash tournaments you could play from your home, and people are always like, well, Magic can't do that because they'd get sued or gambling laws or stuff like that. It's just like, it's funny how push comes to shove, that's not actually the case. Well, thanks, Aram. I appreciate you dropping it off here again. Be CFB who would be in trouble with gambling laws, not watch. See, I am not a lawyer, but I would be surprised if Wizards of the Coast is officially endorsing their events, right? Like, they're allowing it to happen on their platform, and they're giving Pro Tour invites for it. Has online cash tournaments. I have no idea. I'm in chat, so I'm a lawyer. Is there a member of chat that specializes in intergalactic law that can help us out?
You will be excellent research. Let me aid your research.
I think we just start by Urrowing. See where we go from there. Ooh, that's really good. So that costs 7 mana. So right now I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go ahead and untap this, crack them for 6, and then Conquer's Death their Tamiyo. And, like, they can get Uro back, but that just cantrips this, right? Because he goes away again because he wasn't escaped. The people that police online gambling rings were deemed a non-essential business, so they're okay for now. Probably gonna end up Brazen Borrowing just to tap their Dream Trawler here, because getting Nissa ulted, especially with another Nissa in my hand, probably game winning, huh? We gone over the EPA fiasco yet. I don't know what that's referring to. Just lucky. Thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. The EPA has lifted all environmental rules during COVID. That's... They didn't lift the rules. They just said we can't go out and enforce anything. They announced it. They told the toddler not to eat a cookie, but that there wouldn't be repercussions for 6 to 12 months or more if they do decide to eat the cookie. The laws are on the books, but there's no enforcement like premarital sex in the South. Oh, the South. The head of the EPA is a former coal lobbyist. Of course he is. Of course he is. Look how loyal my Uro is, chat. Just the most loyal Uro there ever was. Drained that swamp, yep. And if you'll buy that, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona for you. From my front porch, you can see the sea.
The land bestows opportunity for those who are worthy.
Alright, so I want to leave things in here that we can maybe get back with Conqueror's Death later. Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of country music too. It's me. Thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Did I have lethal playing the second instant anime 2 lands? I don't know. I didn't check.
Together, we will prevail. Rise, my elemental friend.
Yeah, pretty much everything we do here is deck submissions. You can submit a deck for play by following the instructions here on my website. If my Dream Trawler died, I probably should have played the Temple, right? So we could scribe. I don't need to hold it if I don't have the Dream Trawler in play.
Longer. Stand by and watch.
There's 4 cards in my bin, so still a little bit off of replaying this. They're not quite dead, right? Because they get to lifelink here. They get to attack and go to 14. I don't really have strong thoughts or opinions on anything in Standard. I haven't been playing a lot of this format. When a format runs out of room to brew, if I don't really have a deck that I enjoy playing, it kind of like goes meh for me. And there's a variety of top decks in this format, but I'm not really a huge fan of the play patterns of any of them. A lot of people bouncing your cards back to your hand or killing you with Embercleave is like the norm of the play patterns here. I'm not a huge fan of either of those things. Having those things done to you constantly also doesn't feel great on average. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4, 8, 12, 15. So we'll play this for 13. You're on the internet, you don't need to have knowledge for a strong opinion. Fair. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with this Standard format. Like, the key to having a Magic format that you enjoy is having a deck that you enjoy playing in it. And, like, there's plenty of decks in this format for different people to enjoy. It's just if none of those decks speak to you, you're not going to find what you're looking for here. Like, it's only natural that Magic formats become solved as they've existed for longer.
Don't worry, I got it.
Like, all formats get established eventually. It's just how it works. Yeah. The next set released on Magic Arena in like 2.5 weeks, right? My lands are indestructible. My lands are indestructible. That's great. Wasn't the next set delayed till May? For paper, it's still releasing in digital, as scheduled in the middle of April. Aether Gust sounds great. I think I trim Arboreal Grazer here because this matchup's a little bit more about card quality post-board. Teferi, I could take or leave. I think I'm going to trim down to 3 on him. He's fine for bouncing opposing arrows, but medium other than that. Probably Brazen Borrower for the same reason. What do we think of this? I probably want Shifting Ceratops for running down their Narsets and Teferis. Yeah, I agree, Juju. And like, what people classify as bad play patterns definitely has some amount of subjectivity to it, though. So like, just because I don't enjoy a play pattern doesn't mean that others don't enjoy it. There's lots of people and other people making content even too that really like everything that's going on in this format, so there's nothing wrong with it. Is it crazy to trim a Hydroid Krasis? I feel like it's not. 3 sweepers is probably plenty. How's Grazer been? Well, we've only played against mid-range and control so far, so it hasn't been stellar. I've boarded it out every matchup because there hasn't been any aggro. Yeah, I agree, Hype 2 Def. Like I mentioned earlier, if I get the logistics figured out with MTG Melee and we put together a subscriber tournament, it's definitely going to be historic. Even if it doesn't happen till after the next set release, it'll still be historic, I think. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. Okay, I want to tell you, if the Grixis Breach deck, it's a combo deck, Arcane. As always, if you're interested in finding out what deck we're going to be playing later on stream, you can always check the deck queue on my website. And there'll be a link to the deck list that we're playing there. Yeah, the blue-black deck was sweet. I had someone pay to re-add that to the queue, so we'll be getting back to that one again. Alright, ramp it up. Hey, Dorian, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Your losses with the blue-black deck have only been to decking. That's hilarious. I'm going to lead on Teferi rather than just jamming Nissa. This stops them if they have like a disdainful stroke here. Let's get a cantrip right away too, which is nice. Yeah, and we'll see too. If running a tournament via Melee and doing coverage via Discord screen sharing works out, it's probably something we'll do with some consistency if it makes for okay content. Something we could do once a month or every other month or so. If they have their own Nissa, why do I care about keeping my Teferi alive? I guess if I kept the Teferi alive, they wouldn't be able to disdainful stroke my... I suppose if they have stroke here, they could stroke this now. No stroke. Deal Reno. Bye, Felicia. Do you have a Conqueror's Death of your own? Just another Nissa. Got it. Through this land, we are all connected. Going down to 15. Gust this now, so that way they can't make another land and attack our Nissa down. Because while we could get Nissa back with Conqueror's Death, I'd prefer to get back a Teferi here, I think. I don't know, I could go either way on that, I guess. This stems the bleeding a little bit too, so they can't hammer us for 9 down to 6. Could you explain why they would choose not to block? Yeah, because they wanted to use their thing for mana this turn, like they just did.
The land shall conquer you.
The land shall conquer you. So this Whirlwind Denial will cost 5, but that's still enough to counter Nissa here, so that's great. And then Whirlwind Denial will put a 6th card into our graveyard, so that way we can cast Uro next turn, which is great. So they'll get their Nissa back next turn, but not making another land a creature this turn is good for us. Ooh. Oh, I didn't. That's fine. I can untap a green source here, right? I say I didn't leave up green mana for trample, but that's fine.
Harness the elements.
Alright, running them down. So they have a Nissa again here, but we've got Uro and this Plains, and our Nissa of our own. Well, Dookie. Ceratops is still lethal, right? Because there's protection from blue. So they're dead to trample.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Just boop them. Boop them on the nose. This is a little greedy on the play. I don't know. Green's our most common color mana source in the deck. And, like, if we hit a green source, this seems real good, right? Bant ramp. Bant ramp. How come I'm playing Slay the Spire earlier? Son of Sam, thank you for the 2/3 of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I have never played Slay the Spire before. And someone in chat asked me what dollar amount it was to make me play a game of their choosing. And I gave the dollar amount, and they paid the dollar amount. Now we're going to play Slay the Spire at the end of the stream. I timed you out for pointing out that we missed lethal because we had literally just gotten done talking about how I had missed lethal with the line that you were talking about.
Trust me. You'll thank me later.
What was the dollar amount? My sponsored rate for indie games, most games in general, is $150 an hour on stream. Similar HS, thanks for the 10 months, I appreciate that. Welcome back. if it's a smaller company and a game that I like, usually I'll charge a little bit less than that, but usually I'll play almost anything for an hour for 150 bucks, unless it's like a really bad mobile game. I've definitely rejected some bad mobile games for more money than that.
Here goes nothing.
I kept trying to find a deck with the card Slay the Spire in it, didn't realize it was a separate game. You aren't supposed to talk about your income with other people, it's bad for morale. Something like that. Get out of here, corporate America.
I've got it.
That's really weird. Their flash deck conceded because I had Teferi in play. What incredibly interesting, engaging, and stimulating play. Have you noticed any difference in viewership since the virus have started? No, it's almost identically the same, actually. While there's definitely more people watching Twitch right now, there's also more people streaming. Yeah, I'd play Hearthstone. I actually have a lot of Hearthstone cards. I haven't played for probably the last 2 or 3 expansions, but before the expansion before that, I had a bunch of stuff. Though, I suppose for a game like Hearthstone that would require me to buy stuff, it would be more if you wanted me to, like, buy a standard deck on there, too. But in general, yes, this is a business. I do this for money. I play Magic regardless of if it gave me income, but I wouldn't be here, you know, the 70 hours a week I spend working if this didn't provide me an income. It was illegal to talk about your pay. If you work inside the United States, that's against the law in most places. I believe all of the United States, but at least in some places. To give you context, when people talk about to give you context, when I did try and expand into streaming a little bit of Hearthstone, I can check my 2019 expenses, but just to get stuff to play standard in Hearthstone, I think I ended up spending like almost $1,200. %, of the U.S., it is a right to be able to talk about your coworkers with your wages. Good. I thought that was the case. 7 from Heaven. Thank you for the 7 months, Panda. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Hearthstone is not cheap. Although the price, Hearthstone recently added 4th card protection, basically, right? You can't get duplicates of cards until you have full sets for that rarity. So that might bring the cost down some. Maybe. I don't know. I'd imagine that has to help. Unless they twisted knobs in other places. It is only socially frowned upon to talk about your income because corporate culture dictates that they make it frowned upon so that way they can underpay people. That's the reality. Because if in corporate America, in late stage capitalism, if you have 2 people doing the same job and one of them will do the job for less pay than the other, they pay them less because they're not comfortable talking about that difference. think I'm bottoming that at this point, right? I don't have anything to ramp up into, really. Yes, it's harder for workers to negotiate raises when they have no idea what their coworkers make. Exactly. I'm going to let this resolve, and then during their draw... Actually, in response to this, hopefully they don't have Mystic Dispute. If they don't have a counterspell for this Aether Gust, the Night Pack Ambusher gets shuffled away here, which is great. Apparently, they're calling for possible tornadoes and hail and gale force winds where I live, starting from now until about 10 p.m. this evening. So if the stream goes out, it's probably related to that. Thank you for the 25 months, Lullabad. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It is the apocalypse. Yeah, so, you know, in terms of making people social distance, they're actually going to have to, kind of. Shame, MTG. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the entire year of support. Who will we watch if you go to Oz? Asking the real questions. Yeah, I actually heard some people talk about that. Like, when hurricane season rolls through down in Florida too, like, that's gonna complicate this even further. Schrodinger's Tiger, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Yeah, I mean, I'll be here streaming unless my power literally goes out and my internet cuts out, but like, it could realistically have my power or internet literally cut out, so. Although, if an actual tornado touches down, there's a window in this room in my basement. This is technically a bedroom, so there's a full window here, so probably shouldn't be in this room during tornado conditions if there's an actual touchdown. Florida is very likely to be uniquely screwed with this whole pandemic thing. Not only because the average age demographic that exists in Florida, but also because they elected a Republican governor who has not stepped up to make up for Trump's shortcomings. He wants to just lick Trump's boots and not take any precautions. My house is not made of brick. The big bad wolf could tip it over. Although, like, just to give you context to where I live, like, 40, 50 mile per hour winds are like a semi-frequent occurrence. So, like, tornadoes and hail are not a normal occurrence, but... So we're dead to expansion explosion here. Yeah, the fact that Florida didn't lock down to prevent spring break revenue from happening Yeah. All right. I probably want Veto and Whirlwind Denial here, huh? I wasn't sure if they were Flash or Teamerek after the first game, so I didn't bring these in. But the fact that they're Teamerek makes me think I want those for sure. I probably don't want Hydroid Krasis here. I don't know that I really have time to get going with that. And I probably want Narset too. And these Knights of Autumn. Let's try this. Even with beaches closed, some beaches are privately owned by hotels and still open to people. Believe it or not, in times of emergency, the government has the power to step in and tell private businesses what they are and aren't allowed to do, Drum Freak. We were actually talking about this in Discord last night too. I would bet lots of parts of the US are uniquely screwed compared to other countries in the world because of the US's inability or lack of desire to step up and make hard decisions like that. This whole thing will really give you deep insight into which of your local elected officials are leaders and which ones aren't. Those that are looking to defer to others to make the hard choices for them are people you should not re-elect come fall if they're up for election. I saw an elderly couple push a barricade to let their car through to the beach in Florida. Heavy damage. Hopefully we won't have any of that today. Thanks for the brand new Prime Sport. Welcome to Hooglandia. People in my neighborhood have twice taken down the closed due to COVID signs at the park across the street. Curritin Sheet, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I was told it would be fine by Easter by the man with the best brain. Yeah. SD Harita, thank you for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like, normally, in normal times, I don't mind people being truly ignorant, but like, this is a time where it's like extra frustrating because like these people being ignorant are going to directly hurt people that are not themselves. Huck Bear, ready for power indeed. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. The scroll animation is excellent. It's definitely not just you. Okay, so we're down to 11 here, but I have another Conqueror's Death coming online, and I have a relatively quick clock here. Potter Goes Gaming, thanks for the quarter of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we're going down to 6 here. Yeah, the auto tapper doesn't account for holding up blue to play this card for 1 mana. It's something you have to watch when you're playing Dispute decks. Thread Menace, thanks for the 16 months. Happy Saturday. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. I get to bounce my Conqueror's Death here. They have another dispute. Huh? Wargy Corgi, thank you for the generous tier 3 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Potter. People not realizing their actions impact others. Is bouncing the Borrower too cute? I actually think it's probably right here, right? Because, like, they could kill me next turn otherwise. Yeah. Yeah, because they can't replay it.
That's more like it.
Uro's actually a pretty good pickup here. Okay. Wonder if we'll see them just play Borrower here. Yeah, someone's asked about making me play Hearthstone.
Trust me, I have.
Why do I need to play Hearthstone? I can play it right here in Magic. In for Dream Trawler. Is it crazy to just pass here? Probably. Protecting Teferi seems like it has some real merit, though. I think I want to protect Teferi / my life total here. With the Dream Trawler on top of my deck. Am I dead? I'm actually dead to land expansion explosion. It's land number 10. Vomit. This archetype seems fine. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Standard right now. I feel like in Standard, you need to be bouncing things or comboing people, and the tools that you have to keep up with those types of things really just don't feel good. For me personally, I just don't love it. No, I didn't have 4 blue sources there, so I couldn't hold up Mystic Dispute and Borrower like I did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have strong opinions on Bant Ramp. There's lots of good players that have played lots of variations of this. This is playing a lot of good cards. This archetype's fine in this format, but I don't know. It's really not for me. Not my cup of tea. All right. Speaking of things that are sweet, though, and are my cup of tea, we're going to hit a quick ad roll so I can restart the client and update the deck list everywhere. And when we get back, we are going to roll right into some Naya Feather here in Historic. We'll be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. I mean, blue-white control is a deck full of Teferis and sometimes even Brazen Borrowers on top of it, so it falls into the category of things I just said. Yeah, I could have waited to play the Borrower there. There was no reason to play it out main phase. I was thinking I wanted to play around a counterspell, but they were playing Hearthstone, so it just didn't matter. It's whatever. I don't really care about the actual matches played, the match results or whatever. You're right though that we could have played around that. Hail Satin, thank you for the third of the year. Welcome back.